Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues. Please subscribe to our channel. We've talked in the past about domestic violence and first offense. The problem with most misdemeanors is that there's enhancement of the sanction if a person has multiple violations. So, in other words, if you, let's say, are speeding and you are caught, going 55 and a 40 once, twice, 3 times. The fact that you're caught multiple times doing the same thing, while it may result in a crummy record, isn't going to change the fact that the fine for driving 55 and a 40 is X amount of points and X amount of dollars. And that's it. Whereas in criminal violations, multiple violations of the same thing could result in a bigger sentence. So, for example, a domestic violence first offense is a misdemeanor, and it may carry with it a punishment of 0 days in jail up to 93 days in jail. But if you get involved in domestic violence second offense, third offense, you're going to find that the punishment is that much greater, that there's an enhancement of the sanction associated with those offenses. And why is that important? It's important because you got to realize not how to handle your second offense, but how to properly deal with the first. You see, it could be that a person is charged with an offense and they didn't really do it. Maybe they were having an argument with their spouse and a neighbor calls and you get charged with domestic violence, that kind of thing. Don't think, well, you know what, it's no big deal. I've never done anything wrong. I'll just plead guilty and I'll get a slap on the wrist. In other words, you might think your criminal record is such, it can take that charge. I can still move on with my life and not risk going to jail and not do that. I don't need to worry about this charge. Maybe you're right, but the problem is the second time. The problem is, let's say, I don't know, you come home, you've had too much to drink, and I don't know, by accident you hit your kid, or you hit your husband, or you hit your wife. That time you're actually guilty of domestic violence, but now you're looked at as a recidivist, as somebody who's committed that crime before. Now the court has to take very close attention and perhaps put you in jail. Why? Not that this offense is necessarily worse, but that it's not the first time you've done it and you didn't learn your lesson the first time around. So that's the way the court views it. So it becomes important when you have a second offense, a third offense, it becomes really important to deal with these, but it all underscores how important it is to not be declared a second if the first one was bogus. So you've really got to be careful. It's not so much on the second, you got to make sure that it's not characterized as a second by not picking up that first one. There are some situations where you can't avoid it. But if you are able, remember, don't just plead guilty to something because you feel you can tolerate it criminal record-wise, because at the end of the day, you may not be able to tolerate it otherwise. If you have any other questions, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.